tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Today, the last day. Is a little bit loud? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, too loud. Last week it's okay. Last week we talked about Vipassanā. Today also we will talk about Vipassanā. We can even say that this is a applying Vipassanā. So Vipassanā that can be applied in our day-to-day life. A lot of echo, maybe. Huh? So here, Vipassanā is described as the higher wisdom or insight into phenomena. Okay, good. Yeah. So Vipassanā here means the wisdom or insight into phenomena. Here, phenomena means sankhara, conditioned phenomena. Usually we talk about 5 aggregate or 6 sense bases or nama rupa, mind and matter. So if you have a wisdom or insight into phenomena or these 5 aggregate, so we already learned that 5 aggregate are impermanent. So what are impermanent are suffering. So what are suffering are non-self. So actually they are connected to each other. Here the main thing is the impermanent. They are impermanent. For that reason they are suffering. So what are impermanent, what are suffering are non-self. So if you have a such wisdom or understanding, that is called Vipassanā. I hope up to now it's quite clear. So I will quote one of the sutta from Anguttara Nikaya, Padani Yinka Sutta. Actually, 5 criteria of meditators. So earlier weeks we talk about 5 criteria of meditator. So the last one is this one. Possessing the wisdom that descends, arising and passing away. We can call it arising and passing away of 5 aggregate. Arising and passing away of conditioned phenomena. Or arising and passing away of that me, nama rupa, anything, right? So that me is impermanent nature. So if you have a wisdom, so as a meditator, especially for Buddhist, so 5 criteria of a meditator is possessing the wisdom or insight that descend or that understand arising and passing away of conditioned phenomena or 5 aggregate. So actually that is nothing but understanding impermanent nature of 5 aggregate, which is noble and penetrative and lead to complete destruction of suffering. Not a partial destruction of suffering. Concentration of samatha can lead to a partial destruction of suffering, not a total one, but the wisdom or insight will lead to a complete destruction of suffering. I think that is very important. Samatha can lead to a partial destruction of suffering, just partially, temporarily. But here, it's total and complete destruction of suffering. So in Buddhism, Vipassana is important. No, Vipassana or insight meditation is available only in Buddhism, not in other religions. So here, the commentary of Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 53, Sikha Sutta, Sikhami training. So in that Sutta, the commentary said that wisdom or insight, which is capable of penetrating rise and fall of the five aggregate. So I think if we read whatever suttas, whatever commentary you use, definition is very clear, the same. So here, wisdom or insight, in other words, Vipassana me, which is capable of penetrating rise and fall of five aggregate. That is called wisdom or insight. So if you look at here, arising and passing away, two characteristics, right? But in the first sermon, we already learned the first sermon. So after hearing the first sermon, Four Noble Truths, a group of 5 monks, so among them, Venerable Cornelia became stream enterer or Sotapanna for the first time. So Dhammacakkappavattana recorded in this way. While the first discourse was being delivered, the death-free, stainless vision of the Dhamma Chakku means the eye, the eye of the Dhamma, arose in the Venerable Cornelia thus. That is the eye of the Dhamma. Wherever it's subject to arising, is all subject to cessation. But here, arising and cessation. So wherever subject to arising is all subject to cessation. So that means all sankhara, all conditioned phenomena are subject to cessation. So if you look at here, this one also talk about insight or vipassana. So conditioned phenomena or sankhara, actually according to Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, 3 characteristics: arises and passes away. During 2 periods, arising and passing away, there's alteration or changing. So according to some suttas. But here, according to here, it talk about insight or vipassana. So for that reason, I think you may hear that without practicing insight meditation, you cannot become Sotapanna. For that reason, we make final conclusion. For those who become Sotapanna, whoever, the king, the beggar, the monks, layperson, women or men, whoever, the Pali Canon recorded this line. So when Venerable Ananda became Sotapanna, Pali Canon record in this way. And Anathapindika, the rich person who donated Jetavana monasteries, also recorded in this way. Whatever is, they have a understanding or wisdom or insight. Whatever is subject to arising, it's subject to cessation. 5 aggregate arises. For that reason, they are subject to cessation. Our body, we was born, arising. Whatever is subject to arising, it's subject to cessation with time. Such understanding is very deep, very deep and very profound. So if we have such understanding, if we have such penetration, so our mind will not be shaken even when we encounter changes outside. That is called wisdom or vipassana. So actually here you can see that arising and cessation. But in the last moment of the Buddha, Mahaparinibbana-sutta, so these are the last word of the Buddha. So these are the last word of the Buddha. Actually, for those the word that are talking for the last time, they are very important, especially for important people, important people. When historical person talk one thing just before he died, very important. He also is very important. Handaddhani bhikkhave amandaya miyo veya dhamma sankhara appamadena sampadeta. Veya dhamma, you know the dhamma, sankhara. So this translation, now monks, I declare to you, all conditioned phenomena, so that means sankhara, all conditioned phenomena are of in nature or decay. In nature or decay. So here the nature means dhamma. The nature means dhamma. Or the nature of phenomena. Decay. Decay means death. Cessation. Strive on diligently with the mindfulness. Mindfulness here is a appamadena, sampadeta. Sampadeta means strive on with the diligently, with the diligent. So I think what I want to point out here is, even at the last word of the Buddha, it shows Vipassanā. So in nature, decay. So actually, the Buddha taught, very important what for his disciples. So normally, in Abhidhamma, so we have a 3 set moment of mind or matter, arising and passing away. In between, there is alteration or changes. We call it present. Arising, present for a moment, then passing away. So these are 3 sub-mind moment or sub-moment of mind or matter. Anything, which has the nature of condition. So here, we also have some suttas that prove, Abhidhamma description is correct. So the Buddha say in Anguttara Nikaya, 3 characteristics of sankhara, arising and passing away, alteration when they persist. And in many places, and the Buddha and great disciples of the Buddha talk about arising and passing away, talk about the nature of Vipassanā. The nature of Vipassanā. In 2 words, arising and passing away. Actually, the speed of impermanence of the mind and matter is so quick that they omit present moment. They just highlight arising and passing away, only to my moment. But here in the Mahaparinibbana-sutta, the Buddha taught to the monks as a final words. The Buddha highlight the last one, decay of conditioned phenomena. So actually here, the Buddha as a enlightened, a great being, the Buddha himself know it, all conditioned phenomena impermanent. In one of the sutta, the Buddha said that monks, even the great mountain, Mount Meru, even the oceans, even the Himalaya mountain, even the great earth, they are impermanent. One day they will disappear. Even the great earth, even the oceans, even the great mountains, Mount Meru, the Buddha said, they are impermanent. So the Buddha say, so it should be, in that sutta, the Buddha highlight, the impermanent nature of conditioned phenomena. Even the great mountain, even the oceans, our body, very tiny, tiny dot in the universe. Not even the universe, in the planet, a tiny dot, very fragile, If we understand with our own wisdom or understanding, our body is impermanent. Our feeling, perception, mental activities, and our consciousness, everything's impermanent. So if we have such understanding, that understanding is called insight or Vipassanā. Very powerful, very powerful. Okay. Question? Any question up to now?
Bhante, is there any phenomenon that's unconditioned other than Dhimana?
Yeah, according to Theravada Abhidhamma, Nibbana is called asankata, unconditioned. But I think it's not 100% sure. According to Vajrayana Abhidhamma, so akasa or space element is added into asankata. Two types of asankata, Nibbana and space. Space is considered as a asankata. If I'm wrong, so sorry. I thought actually when I was young, I read, but I need to check again. So akasa is considered asankata, not conditioned by anything, But of course, in Theravada Abhidhamma, akasa is considered as a concept. So, as a concept, there's no arising, passing away, and no present, alteration, no alteration. So actually, concept, the space between two tables, and the space between two people. So, they are not conditioned, They are not conditioned according to them. So actually, the way they categorize also very logical behind it, because in Asankata-sutta, the Buddha said that three characteristics of conditioned phenomena. It must be it must have three characteristics: arising, cessation, change in between. But as a space, there's no such a thing. Also, Theravada Abhidhamma also say that concept or panyati, including akasa, they do not have the nature. They are timeless. Abhidhamma say they are timeless, but Theravada do not say concept or space is asankata. We do not say. When we say asankata, unconditioned phenomena, we just take nibbana. But if we look at, according to the suttas, Sankata and Asankata sutta, three characteristics, of the conditioned phenomena, Sankata or Sankhara, arising, passing away, and alteration while they persist. But three characteristics of asankata, unconditioned phenomena. No arising, no passing away, no alteration or no changes when they persist. So if we look at that sutta, so the way they categorize, space as the asankata, or concept as a asingata. It's logical. Okay, thank you. Please go.
So conditioned phenomena have the conditioned phenomena, sankhata, have the characteristic of rising, presence, and cessation.
Yeah.
Right. So whether it can be nama, it can be rupa.
Yeah.
So therefore, in order to have these three sub-moments, they must have life faculty.
What is it?
Life faculty. Because space, also if you look at it, space is comes about when there is regional demarcation. When there's, so that means, when there is, say 2 tables, you need to have the tables. So but the space is dead, D-E-A-D, in the sense that it doesn't have arising, presence, and falling away, ceasing. So, can one say that conditioned phenomena also needs to have life faculty? Our chittas have life faculty. That's why they can do this, they can have these 3 sub-moments. They are born, and then they stay for a while, and then they die. Same for our rupa. So, life faculty, it has to be alive. So conditioned phenomena has to be alive so that you can die and you can pass away, right?
Okay, I think if we look at Abhidhamma, so life faculty can be attained only for the living beings, Living beings. We have a mental life faculties and physical life faculties, not for the non-living beings, like the trees, the buildings, they don't have a life faculties. So for that reason, actually, according to Abhidhamma, life faculty is available only to living beings. So the buildings, the trees, they don't have it, but they are conditioned by weather, time, etc.
So we can't say that condition.
Cannot say,
Okay, I get you. Thank you.
Bhante, these final words of the Buddha on the characteristics of conditioned phenomena are so important. But can you explain why he only picked up 2 elements of the path, right? Effort and mindfulness.
Sorry, can you repeat the last one?
The last one?
Yeah.
I said, why did Buddha just pick up 2 elements of the path, right? Strive on diligently, right effort, and mindfulness.
Yeah.
Why are the other elements like concentration not included?
Yeah. So each discourses has their emphasis. But here, actually, the Buddha do not emphasize with the right effort or right mindfulness. So what the Buddha emphasizes is the nature of decay or the nature of cessation. In many suttas, and the Buddha and his disciples talk about arising and passing away, arising and passing away. But here, even the Buddha omit arising, because for those who have a deeper level of insight wisdom, they do not see even arising. They just see cessation, all things falling away. For those who are deeper level, I think next year we have to learn this, another knowledge or insight. For those with very deeper level of insight, even arising is not see. It doesn't mean not see, but they can see arising, but falling away or passing away or cessation so vivid, so clear that in their mind, only decay or passing away is very clear. But as the Buddha, as the Nurutana, as the Arahant, as I earlier said that, they were, the passing away, decay in their body, in their mind, the beings, so clear to them. For those who eat a very good food, they will recommend, so this restaurant is very good, go and eat. Just like that, Arahant and the Buddha, So in their mind, in their wisdom, so decay of the mind and matter, and passing away, falling away of the matter and mind, so clear that, For that reason, in the final, as the final what the Buddha focus, decay and passing away, important, So as I earlier said that in even the great earth, in the great oceans, even the great mountains, they will disappear, the Buddha said. They are even those big things, impermanent, let alone this tiny dot, this body, this body. So if we have such understanding, such insight of Vipassanā, when we encounter with the changes or alteration outside, not move. Okay, very good. So let's continue. Stay with okay question.
Sorry, Bhante. I still couldn't understand just now. Space as a concept does not experience impermanence, because I thought concept itself actually created by human mind, and mind itself is actually impermanence. I mean, for example, we know the space between the tables. We know there's a space between the table because our eyes see there are tables. Our hand touch there are tables. So basically these are the sensations. And the sensation itself are actually impermanence.
Yeah.
So how come space actually does not experience impermanence or the concepts? Well, it is actually, I thought it's like a human concept is created by human mind.
I think I think you're right. The reason is I compare space as a concept based on meditation. Actually, different type of akasa. We have a different type of akasa. Space between two tables. So this is another one. But what I mean, space as a concept is the space that you the space that you understand through your meditation. Actually, especially when you attain jhanas. So actually, you are just focusing your attention to Bhaddekaratta-sutta, circle of earth. Then actually, when you can take that object in your mind, then you can close your eye, then just focus on all your attention to that earth circle. Then, if you can keep your attention only to that meditation object, so that earth circle became very bright. Maybe next year we'll have to learn, very bright. But when you want to attain immaterial jhana, arupa jhana, so you have to visualize. You have to visualize that on this asake as a space, as a whole, as a whole. So that means that is imagination of your mind. Your mind created that space. So actually, it's very, it's very deep. And then today no time. So what I mean, space as a concept is when you attain meditation higher level, so you have to, how to say them. So there will be meditation object created by our concentrated mind. As a power concentration, so we see meditation object. So actually, we visualize in our mind as a space. So that space, that on the circular hollow one, no? That's created by our mind. It does not really exist. Our mind created it. For that reason, it's called concept. We call it concept. Actually, it's very high. Maybe when we learn jhana, we will talk about it later. But of course, we have a different type of space. We call it, space, akasa. What we see, hollow one, nighttime we see. That is also space. But according to Abhidhamma, space do not have a arising, passing nature. They don't have it. They are timeless. For that reason, I think Vajirayana, they say Nibbana as well as space is a asinkata. I think it's very logical when we refer to the suttas. Okay, so we go to the. I will explain when we go to jhana next year. Okay. Any discussions? Still have it? Okay. Then we go to a very beautiful sutta, Bhaddekaratta-sutta. It also talk about Vipassanā. So the name of that sutta is an auspicious day. So Bhikkhu Bodhi translated Bhaddekaratta as a single excellent night. Actually, this is a literal translation. Bhaddha means excellent. Eka means a single or one. Ratta means night. Actually, this is a literal translation. Actually, translation of this sutta is very important. For that reason, I write this one. Bhaddekaratta, according to Sannisara Bhikkhu, it is an idiomatic expression. It talks about unauspicious day. According to him, Bhaddekaratta shouldn't be translated literally because it is a idiomatic expression. We should translate as an auspicious day. A good day, good day. So before we talk about this sutta, I don't know whether you still remember, because when we talk about sila, we quoted one sutta called Vipassanā. So the name of the sutta is Good Morning. Still remember? Yeah. So in that sutta, the Buddha said that if you refrain from unwholesome actions with your body, with your speech, with your mind, in the morning, it will be good morning. In the afternoon, when you refrain from unwholesome actions by body, by speech, and by mind, that will be good afternoon. In the evening, if you refrain from unwholesome actions by body, by mind, by speech, so that will be good evening. Actually, the name of the sutta is Vipassanā. Vipassanā means good morning. But Bhikkhu Bodhi, how to say, give the title an auspicious day. Because that means talk about the day, the morning, afternoon, and evening. If you do not do anything, if you do not do any unwholesome action, that will be auspicious days. In other words, we can use it pleasant, you know. So for that reason, I normally say that, I very often say that, we have 3 types of blessing. So you have a blessing in the shrine hall, sprinkling water, you know. You tie, you know, with the, your risk, you know. It's also blessing. Actually, in Pali, it's called forgot Pali, sorry. It's another type of Pali, you know. Normally, people have a a lot of rites and rituals, you know. They believe rites and rituals. In the morning, if you hear something, oh, it's blessing. It's blessing. When you see a beautiful things, blessing. You know. So this is a type of blessing. You know, the first type of blessing. Second one, when you refrain from unwholesome actions with your body, mind, and speech, that will be second level blessing. If you are refraining from unwholesome actions, you don't need to receive the first type of blessing. You don't need to receive blessing. If you are really refraining from unwholesome actions, second type. But this sutta talk about the highest one. Highest one. Let's see what is the higher blessing according to the Buddha. Blessing in the shrine hall, the first level. Second level, not doing any unwholesome actions and doing good wholesome things. And purifying your mind. No? That is the second level one. But this one, the highest level. Sanisaro Bhikkhu, he write this one. Bhaddekaratta, an auspicious day. This is a idiomatic expressions. So there is a tendency in the Pali Canon to speak of a 24-hour period for day and night as a night. When the Pali Canon say night, so that means 24-hour period, the day, you know, it refers to the day. This will be natural for a society that use a lunar calendar, marking the passage of time by the phases of the moon. As you all know, as the Asian people, we normally will use lunar calendar. Chinese, Indian, Burmese, most of the Asian countries, we use lunar calendar. For that reason, when we say something, so we'll go and visit Myanmar one night. So that means we talk about 24 hours. When I mean 24 hours, day and night. Because it used to, it depends on our culture. Because we use lunar calendar. When we say night, one night, so that means not 12 hours, 24 hours. Just as it is natural for us, Bhikkhu Sanisaro said, it's natural for us, for Westerner, using a solar calendar to call the same period for time a day. So when they say, as a Westerner, when they say a day, that means 24 hours, not only 12 hours. What I want to say is actually, sometimes, you know, it's difficult to understand Indian culture and Indian philosophy as an outsider. But Bhikkhu Bodhi translated the sutta literally. If we translate the sutta, Bhaddekaratta-sutta literally, peculiar, you know, single excellent night. Very peculiar, you know. So actually, Sanisaro Bhikkhu translated as an auspicious day. An auspicious day. Actually, an auspicious day is a Western usage, you know. Western usage, English usage. So I have chosen to render the Pali idiom into its English equivalent, inauspiciity. So what I want to say is, when you look at this sutta, it talk about inauspiciity. I think I will quote the sutta a little bit. The Buddha is talking to the monks, bhikkhus, I shall teach you the summary and exposition of one who has had a single excellent night. Actually, it's a Bhikkhu Bodhi translation. According to Sanisaro Bhikkhu, and the Buddha is talking to the monks, I will talk to you an auspiciity. So according to this sutta, what is an auspiciity? Let's see it. The Buddha said, let not a person revive the past. Do not revive the past. We have a lot of past memory. Do not revise. Or on the future, build his hopes. Do not expect, do not hope, for the future. For the past has been left behind, and the future has not been reached. Actually, this is a very, this is a very famous teachings of the Buddha. Don't forget that this is a very highest level. Normally, as a human beings, especially old people, they're trying to revise the past. In my time. So actually, Singapore is not like this. You young people are very lucky. Normally, old people are talking like this, We always revise the past. But nothing wrong. But here we are talking about higher level, meditation time, not in normal time, not in normal time. So the Buddha said that the past has been left behind. The past, not reality. The future has not been reached. The future also not reality. The present, the present. So that is a Bhikkhu Bodhi translation. The same paragraph, Sanisaro Bhikkhu translated, you shouldn't chase after the past or place expectation on the future. Very beautiful, the way they translate it differently. But we can understand it, right? Actually here, more beautiful. You shouldn't chase after the past or place expectation on the future. Normally, we chase after the past, our mind tempered to the past, and place expectation on the future. So this is a Bhikkhu Jnanananda. Let one not trace back the past or yearn for the future yet to come. If I translate, it will be different. Actually, the verses are very famous. For that reason, variation or translation. One of the Chinese philosophers, I don't know how to pronounce. I think it's and he said that if someone is if someone has regret, that means he is living in the past. if someone is worried, living in the future. If you are at peace and calm, you are living in the present. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Actually, all these are in according with the Buddha. And one of the writer from Austria, from Europe, and he write that normally all people are living in the past. Young people are living in the future. No one knows to live in the present moment. That's quite correct, quite correct. All people go back to the past, When I was young, I used to be like this, like this. This is quite natural, For young people, expecting for the future, what will happen after I got a job, after I finished my the university? What will happen if I got a job? What will happen if I get married? Like this, they are expecting living in the future. But he said, no one knows living in the present moment. I think quite, philosophical. So let's study what the Buddha say. The Buddha say, instead of living in the past and living in the future, the Buddha say, instead, with the insight, let him see each presently arising state. Presently arising state. Vipassanā ca yodhamma tata tata vipassati. So when you look at here, instead of living in the past, in the future, instead of going back to the past, or chasing after the future, with the insight, so that me, Vipassanā, with the insight, let him see each presently rising state. Actually, we have a mental and physical state which will arise present. Just see it. Just see it. That is Vipassanā. That's Vipassanā. That's the way to live in the present moment. Let him know that and be sure of it, invincibly and unshakably. So that means the Buddha is talking to the monks. If you want to have an auspicious day, do not go back to the past, do not go chase after the future, just stay in the present moment. Just see and just know wherever happen right now. Wherever happen right now. Whether they're pleasant or unpleasant, it doesn't matter, just know it. That is called Vipassanā. But here you can see that the word Vipassati. Vipassati means see, with the insight. Seeing with the insight each presently arisen state. Let's see with other monks translate differently. Because it's very important to know about insight or Vipassana. The same paragraph, Pichokpanin cha yodhamma tata tata vipassati. Here, they translate the word dhamma differently. The dhamma here means natural phenomena or conditioned phenomena. Wherever quality is present. But here, Sanisara Bhikkhu translate dhamma as a quality, Wherever quality is dhamma. Wherever quality is present, you clearly see right there. Actually, I like the word right there. Tata tata. Literally. Something happened in your body, just see arising of them right there. Something happened outside, just see outside, right there, right there. Something happened in your mind, arising, and also anger arises, you just know arises. Disappear, you just know it disappear. Right there, wherever happen, in your body, in your mind. That is called insight or vipassana. Wherever quality is present, arises. You clearly see. You must clearly see. Another we call it clear comprehension. Sampajana, clear comprehension. Right there, wherever it arises, you just know arising. But even though the Buddha say arising, it refers to arising and passing away, passing away. That is called vipassana. And Bhikkhu Nyanananda, he translates differently, but that which is present, he descends with the insight, and when as and when it it comes, as and when it comes. Also, the same thing, but different translation. So if we look at this soda, so that means wherever happen in your mind, in your body, arising, just know it, just see arising. Right there, wherever, wherever. In your mind, in your body, outside, anything. That is called vipassana. Before we go further, I want to talk about two types of mindfulness. So according to some Sutta from Southern Nikaya, these are two types of mindfulness. The first one, the ability to remember and recollect what was done and what was said long ago. Let's say you talk something, you remember it. That is sati. Let's say yesterday you have done something, you can remember. That's also mindfulness. Then the last one, the second one is the ability to dwell contemplating four established mindfulness: body, feeling, mind, and phenomena. So actually this is a stay in the present moment. Earlier one, not stay in the present moment. You can recollect. Your mind can go back to the past. Just go back, just recollect and just remember, that's all. But there's no regret. Even you have unpleasant experience, you can go back and recollect. No regret. If you have a regret, that means you don't have mindfulness. You can remember your past experiences, but shouldn't have regret or negative mental state, then that means you have mindfulness. If regret or unhappiness come in by remembering unpleasant experience in your life, that means you don't have mindfulness. So second one is popularly known as living in the present moment. You just know right there. Wherever happen, you just know it. Your mind stay in the present moment. That is second one. So for that reason, so there is many questions, because if we look at such suttas, people have a misunderstanding. Oh, we have to go back to the past. Nothing wrong. In higher level, something wrong. Normal level, all right. But if we are practicing meditation, something wrong. Yesterday, my mind is very beautiful. My mind is very peaceful. I could do my meditation where I can sit 2 hours. Then your mind go back to the past. It's good thing for normal case, but if you are meditating, something wrong. For that reason, we have a two level, different level of For that reason, next month I will talk in Buddhist fellowship different level of Buddhist practice. Because we should know, different level. Otherwise, misunderstanding will arise. In one place, the Buddha say, "You are very handsome. You are very handsome." But in one place, the Buddha said, "There's no you." There's no you. They are not contradict. But in the first discourse, the Buddha used conventional term, to talk about beauty, But in second one, the Buddha talk about non-self, anatta. So we have to understand in such a way. If we do not understand, then misunderstanding will arise. Even yesterday, last week I talked about it. So here, what I want to say is, this sutta talk about, the Buddha say, do not go back to the past. Do not build up your hope for the future. Do not go to the future. It seems like, pessimistic, No, actually, we have to understand different place and different level, different level. For that reason, regarding with the going back to the past, then I will give you, I will summarize according to this sutta. We can use two methods to handle the past. Bhaddekaratta-sutta, this sutta favor the second method. Number one, according to this sutta, one thinks, I had such material form. I had such material feeling, perception, mental activities and consciousness. Yet does not find delight in that thought. So that means you can think about your past, but there's no delight, there's no craving. Craving here means like and dislike. Just clearly understand. Suppose you think about your, your life. 10 years ago, my body is like this, but now getting deteriorate. You can think about the past, but at that moment, there's no like and dislike. If there's like, lobha. Dislike, dosa. If you just know what is happening in the past, that is called wisdom. You can go back to the past, but there's no craving, no like and dislike. That is handling, our past. In higher level, higher level. In second level, one does not go back to the past, such as I had such material form. You do not go back. And thus one can prevent from such a thought. Even there's no thought, no delight at all. So actually in the higher level, second method, even you do not go back to the past, just stay in the present moment. That's very important. Whether you have done wholesome or unwholesome in the past, forget about it. Just stay in the present moment. You may have unpleasant experience in the past. Forget about it. Just start right now. That is called present moment. Then I will continue what the Buddha say in that sutta. I will conclude. If you want to have an auspicious day means Bhaddekaratta. Number one, do not revive the past which has been left behind. Don't revive. Don't think about your past. Forget about the past. Number two, do not build hope on the future which has not been reached. Do not think about future. live in the present moment. Live in the present moment. Knowing and seeing things arising at that very moment. Cessation at that very moment. That is called Vipassanā, insight meditation. This higher level, higher level. Normally we can think about our past. We can think about our future. You will, you will argue that how, if I do not think about future, how is it possible, We have to think about future. But when you think, actually it is another level, When you are meditating, don't think about the past. Yesterday, I can meditate well. It will be good. I can do today. That means you go back to the past. No. Tomorrow, I hope I can do better. Like this, Going into the past, going to the future. No. Just stay in the present moment. But when you stay in the present moment, you have to know, you have to see everything when they are rising, as they are rising, when they cease, cessation. So that is called Vipassanā. For that reason, we call it higher level of auspiciity. If you can live in the present moment, knowing and seeing, arising and passing away of things, that is called an auspiciity. So yeah, by looking at these teachings, we can understand importance of present moment. Meditation, staying in the present moment. Do not go back to the past. Do not go to the future. But when you can think about the past and future, when you think about the past, no regret. When you think about the future, no worry. You can do that. In Vipassanā, meditations, normally meditation means stay in the present moment. Only present moment you can practice insight meditations. But there are some writings, and we can also practice insight meditation in the past. But when you are practicing the past, have to be very mindful. You must know very clearly what you are thinking. And future also the same thing. The same thing. Then, importance of living in the present moment. I will quote another sutta, Arinya Sutta, Devata Sanyutta from Samyutta Nikaya. In that sutta, one of the deva asked the question to the Buddha. And the deva said to the Buddha, those who dwell deep in the forest, peaceful, leading the holy life, eating but a single meal a day, only one meal a day, why is their complexion so serene? They eat one meal a day, they don't have anything, they are living under the trees, they don't have no possessions, but their complexion is very serene. Why? They eat one meal a day. Why their complexion very serene? And the Buddha answered this one. They do not sorrow over the past. They do not regret over the past. Nor do they hanker for the future, long for the future, with the worry, They maintain themselves with what is present. They stay in the present moment. Hence, their complexion is so serene, so handsome, so good looking. So, we always say that when you want to be beautiful or handsome, stay in the present moment. Don't think about your past, you know. If you are thinking about your past, regret. Don't think about future, you know. Worry, a lot of worry, this and that, you know. It doesn't mean you don't have to go back to the past, you don't have to go to the future. It doesn't mean you can do so, but with the mindfulness. If mindfulness is present in your mind, no regret, no worry. But the best thing is, the higher things, stay in the present moment. Through hankering for the future, through sorrowing over the past, fools dry up and wither away, like a green reed cattle. Very beautiful, you know. This is a how to say, famous teachings, you know, famous verses in the teachings of the Buddha. And many scholars, you know, many philosophers, they also write down the same thing. Earlier Chinese philosopher, Song Chu, or I forgot his name, you know. Lao Tzu, you know. Lao Tzu. Very difficult. Sandra, can you spell it out? Can you speak the name of the Lao Tzu? Yeah? Eh?
Lao Tzu.
Oh, okay. He said, if you are regret, you stay in the past. If you are worry, stay in the future. If you are peaceful, stay in the present moment. You know? Important. Stay in the present moment. For that reason, I always say that when I leave my village, very happy. Then I became some novice monk at the age of 12. Of course, I feel sorry to leave my village and go to Mandalay. Then after a few time, very happy. I forgot about my village. Then I stayed there for 11 years. Then I got a Dhammacharya degree, a Dhamma teacher degree. Then my idea is to go and study one of the country like Thailand, Sri Lanka, India. One of my friend discussed, he went to go to Sri Lanka, then I also go there. Then of course, before I go there, then I decided I have to learn English. But Mandalay is not a good place to learn English, then I have to move Yangon. Actually, Mandalay is very good for Buddhist monk, very free, you know. The monks in Mandalay, actually the Mandalay is the best place for learning. So the monks in Mandalay, they do not, they think themselves as the most educated, the most well respected, you know. The one who got a degree from Mandalay, then is regarded as a very height, you know, very height. Then I'm very happy to live in Mandalay. Then have to move to Yangon for 3 months. Not happy, you know, to stay in Yangon. But I still remember Mandalay, you know, life in Mandalay. Then after 3 months, I forgot Mandalay. Then after 3 years of study, then I went to Sri Lanka for my master degree. You know. So actually, Sri Lanka is very boring, about 3 months. Really boring, because different food, different people. Then after 3 months, became very happy. So at that time, I thought that Sri Lanka will be the best country other than Myanmar. Then I came to Singapore. This is the best country. Because I'm staying in the present moment, stay in the present moment. So for that reason, 3 years ago, on my birthday, then I write small article. The best things I learned in my life is staying in the present moment. I stay in the present moment. I enjoy my life, current age. I enjoy staying in Singapore. If I move to another place, the same thing, I'm very happy, even in the forest. So what I want to say is, train our mind to stay in the present moment. That's very important, That's very important. So there is 2 places I'm not happy. Then I'm trying to move, from that place. 2 places. One is a small town in Upper Myanmar. So I was invited to teach novices. Then my teacher provided everything, provided everything. I'm a master in that place. Not happy, Then he want me to stay forever, the whole life. Not happy. I stayed only 3 months, then I moved on. So what I want to say is, if I'm not happy, then I will move. But staying in the present moment, very important. Must be happy the place you stay. Must be happy the age you are in. Even you are going to die, stay in the present moment. Do not go back to the past. Do not go to the future. Stay in the present moment. But arise, seeing and understanding, arising and passing away of the things. That is called Vipassanā. Right? Vipassanā. So, I want to talk about the importance of present moment from Theragatha. Venerable Cornelia is the first monk who became Sotapanna. Actually, before he died, he talked about his experience, life experience. So this is one of the verses taught by Venerable Cornelia. He is the most senior man, the most senior monks among the monks, And he talked about this. But even last week I talked about this verse, but not in detail. Nabi nandami marana. I do not long for death. Venerable Cornelia, senior monk, very old monk, I do not long for death. So that me do not want to die, Normally, people who have a lot of problems, they want to die. That's craving. Nabi nandami jivitan. I do not long for life. This is also craving. The earlier one is hatred. You hate to live. You want to die. For that reason, you want to die. But here, I do not long for life. There is no craving in the life. Normally, people have a lot of craving. People, everyone, want to live. Don't want to die, Don't want to die. Craving to our life, our body and our mind. If we have a lot of craving to our body, to our mind. Very, a lot of fear to die. People have a lot of craving toward their house, cars, and families. They don't want to die. Craving, If you don't want to die, you cannot escape. One day you have to die. When you encounter with the death, suffering in your mind because of craving. But Venerable Cornelius, he said that, I do not long for life. There's no craving to live. Kalin chapatikinkami, but I want the time. I want the time. But here, if you think I want craving, you might think it's craving. No. So actually here, we have to use conventional term, the language to talk about, the profound teachings. Then I will explain. Kalinja, kala means the time. Patikinkami, want. I want the time. Attentively and mindfully. You just want the time. And you stay in the present moment, attentively and mindfully. Wherever arising, current moment. Right there, right there. You just know it, attentively and mindfully. That's meditation, meditation. So for that reason, this is my writing with the reference to those. Actually, not only Venerable Cornelius talk about these verses, so many Arahants also talk about these ideas. It seems contradict the story of Arahant who commits suicide. Right? But I think it's not. The Arahant who commit suicide, they do not commit suicide because of hatred. They commit suicide because they think that the body is no longer useful. Maybe if I say like this, many people will not like it. That's just my conclusion. When you look at the suttas, last week we have a question and I answer with reference to the two suttas, Vakali Sutta. Samyutta Nikaya, chapter 22, sutta number 87, I think. 80 something. Another one, Chanda Sutta. Chanda Sutta is a sutta number, Samyutta Nikaya, chapter 12, 87. The same, the number. The number of the sutta is the same, only chapter. So that's just my conclusion, conclusion by reading the sutta. Many people will not like it. Commentator, they don't like it at all. They don't want to say that Arahant commits suicide. Okay, so actually, that's very controversial issues. Even nowadays, committing suicide or euthanasia or whatever you call it, very controversial, very controversial. So, I think the teachings of the Buddha, we have to interpret based on Lobha, Dosa, Moha. Lobha, Dosa, Moha. So, okay. So here, by looking at Theta-kata, then I write on this one. Arahants do not have hatred, dosa. Therefore, they do not long for death. They also do not long for life, since they have uprooted greed. They don't have any craving. For that reason, no craving toward this life, this body, this mind. They just live in the present moment, attentively and mindfully. Stay in the present moment during the whole life. Venerable Cornelia, very old monk, a senior monk, he do not long for death because do not have any hatred toward life. No hatred toward life. Those people who have a hatred toward their life, then they want to die. They want to die. Those people who have a lot of greed or craving, grasping, they have attachment to life. They don't want to die. They don't want to die. But those who live in the present moment, attentively and mindfully, attentively means clear comprehension, wisdom. Mindfully means mindfulness, sati. Actually, in Mahasatipattana-sutta, the same thing, two quality, clear comprehension. In the present moment, you know everything. Wherever arising, wherever cessation, just know with the mindfulness, clear comprehension, mindfulness. Let's go back to the story of Bhikkhuni Khema. Very beautiful, She's going to die. Life energy is going to move from her body. But she don't have any craving toward her body, toward her mind. Nothing. Just know what is happening right now. What is happening that time, Life energy is moving. That's all, Attentively and mindfully. For that reason, no fear at all. Later she write, the doctor came in, the doctor rescued her life. The later she write down, that moment is pleasant. If we practice, letting go. If we practice, letting go. If there's no grasping to your body, to your mind, to the family, to the house, car, everything. No grasping, no clinging, no craving, no attachment. You just let go. Naturally, what is happening at that moment. If you hear family member crying, just know that they are crying. If you hear people are laughing at the time, just know that they are laughing. You just know attentively, clear comprehension, whatever happened at that moment, with the full of mindfulness. Actually, that is a Buddhist philosophy. That is staying in the present moment with the insight of Vipassanā. Very powerful, very powerful. Not easy, but it can be done. Then I will continue Bhaddekaratta-sutta. The Buddha said that today the effort must be made. You have to do it today. Tomorrow death may come. Who knows? No bargain with the mortality. No. You cannot bargain with the death. Can keep him and his hottest away. So there's no bargain with the mortality or death. That in that way, you can keep them away. You can keep the death away, or his pain, etc. You have to make the effort. How to say? Today the effort must be made. Tomorrow death may come. Who knows? No bargain with the mortality can keep him, death or mortality, and hit hottest away. Pain in your body, sadness by the family member, you can drive them away if you are staying in the present moment mindfully. But one who dwells that's ardently. So here, ardently means you stay in the present moment. Do not go back to the past. Do not go to the future. If I die, what will happen next life? No, do not think about the future also. Stay in the present moment. Whatever things arises, just know it. Just see it. That is called Vipassanā. Who dwells there ardently, relentlessly, by day, by night, day and night. It is he, the peaceful sage has said, the Buddha has said, it is he who has had an auspicious day. This is auspicious days. You do not go back to the past, do not go to the future, just stay in the present moment. You know it, you see it, everything arising and passing away. If you can live in such a way, it is an auspicious day for you. The highest auspicious days for you. The lowest one, blessing in the shrine hall. Second level, do not do any unwholesome deed, do good deed. Second level. The highest one, stay in the present moment. That means practicing meditation, especially practicing insight meditation. So that will be an auspicious day. Highest one. Question? If no question, then let's move on. So this is actually, I have talked what is insight or Vipassanā according to the Pali Canon. Then I hope it's quite clear for you. I hope. You don't need to think about what the commentaries say, Normally, the monks talk about something based on commentary explanation. They really talk about something based on Pali Canon, based on the suttas. Normally, when we talk about Vipassanā, we talk about commentary explanation. So this one. Nechādi vasena vividena akarena pasati ti Vipassanā. Seeing things in various aspects, such as impermanent, etc. That is a commentary explanation. It's correct. Seeing and knowing things. So knowing things means mental or physical. In various aspects, in terms of nature, in terms of dukkha, in terms of anatta, in terms of asubha, etc. So that is called Vipassanā. It's in accordance with the suttas. Okay, I hope we have learned what is Vipassanā and what is Samatha. Samatha means internal serenity of the mind, unity of the mind. Your mind is unified by using one meditation object or many meditation objects. That is Samatha. Then you have a tranquility of the mind. If your mind is concentrated and tranquil, then you will see everything in their true nature. The true nature is impermanent, suffering, and non-self nature. If you have a such understanding or insight, that is called Vipassanā. The main task of Vipassanā is to see the real nature, anicca, dukkha, anatta nature of conditioned phenomena. The main purpose of Vipassanā is to eradicate the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering means three types of suffering. Thereby, one gains liberation from all types of suffering. So that means if you have an insight or wisdom, then there will be no suffering at all. No suffering at all. Then I want to repeat Samatha and Vipassana, I have already talked about it. By that time, you do not know very clearly. Now I hope you understand. Samatha can be compared with the catching of fish by a crane. It just concentrates on one focal point to catch only one fish. You know, when you look at the crane, if art, stand still, just focus one place. If he found a fish, will catch it. That is samatha. Vipassana is just like a catching insect by a spider. A spider will stay at the middle of its web. If an insect is caught somewhere off the web, the spider will go there and catch it. Will come back to the center, stand still. If another insect is caught somewhere, and he will go and catch it and come back to the center point, stand still. Very powerful, you know. If he do not have a stability of the mind, no concentration, he will not know it. He will not know it. But here, inside me, you're practicing samatha, your mind is quite concentrated, but if something happens in your mind, in your body, you just know it. Arising and passing away, and arising and passing away. Then if you do not have anything, come back to your meditation object. Samatha. Then something happens in your body. Then try to know that point, arising and passing away. Arising and passing away. Then come back to the meditation object, like this. So, Vipassana, very powerful. Sayadaw U Chikenda, he said that samatha is just like watching a movie with a VCD player. You are watching a movie with a VCD player. You can choose whatever films you like and stick to that. You can control the situation. So that means when you are practicing samatha, you can choose an object, any object you like. If you don't like the quality of the recollection of the quality of the Buddha, try to change the quality of the Dhamma. If you don't like, come back to the Anapana. If you don't like, change to another object. You can change it. Just like watching a movie with a VCD player. You can control it, you know? You can control it. Vipassana is just like watching a live show from TV. Just watch wherever it's on air. Even if you don't like it. Even if it is an advertisement. No control. You cannot control. When you are practicing insight meditations, you have to see, you have to observe wherever happen in your mind, happen in your body. You cannot control it. Things are happening in their own way. Just watch it, just observe it. Just know and see it as they really are. Impermanent, suffering, non-self. Just know it. No choice, no control. Wherever arises in your body and mind, just observe it. That is insight. That insight of Vipassana is very powerful, very powerful. Question? Still 50 minutes, right? Minutes. Then I will talk, no question, then I will talk about benefit of serenity and insight. I think if we look at this sutta, we also will understand what is Samatha and what is Vipassanā. Vipassanā mentions the benefit of serenity and insight. Samatha and Vipassanā. Vipassanā means things that pertain to true knowledge. Vipassanā. Something that can produce true knowledge. That means Samatha and Vipassanā can produce true knowledge. So according to commentary, commentary of this sutta, Samatha and Vipassanā can produce 8 types of true knowledge. You have to learn this here. A lot of things to learn. Insight knowledge. So far we have learned a lot. Insight knowledge. And the mind-made body. If you practice Samatha, you can create mind-made body. And also you have 6 kinds of direct knowledge. So you can see Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 2, Brahmachala, Samanyaphala Sutta. So we have 8 types of true knowledge. Like a supernatural power, you can create anything. The knowledge of encompassing the mind of others. If you are practicing Samatha, you will know the mind of other people, what they are thinking, And the knowledge of recollection of past life. You can recollect your past life, etc. Later, we have to learn true knowledge, 8 types of true knowledge. If you practice Samatha Vipassanā, you can take all these one. Then you can see Samanyaphala Sutta, Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 2, para number 85 to 99. Para number 85 to 99. In Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 3, Sutta number 1. Chapter 6, Sutta number 2. Okay. The purpose of, in this Sutta, the Buddha said that. The Buddha said, the purpose of Samatha is to develop the mind or concentration. For that reason, we call it a deep Chaita Sikha, higher training of the mind. When you practice Samatha, then you can train your mind. When the mind is developed and lust is abandoned. Lust is abandoned. Lust or craving or grasping or clinging. We have a lot of clinging to what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we eat, what we touch. Lust. When your mind is concentrated, when develop your mind, that means if you have a concentration, such type of grasping or clinging cannot come. Normally, normal people, we rely on something we see. If we do not see them, we are not happy. Our happiness rely on something we see. Some people want to listen music. If they cannot listen music, not happy. Their mind rely on music. Some people rely on food. They're happy to eat food. If they cannot eat good food, not happy. Like this. We have a lot of lust or attachment towards sensual pleasures. But if you are developed, if you are practicing meditation, if you are full of concentrations, you don't need all these one. Your mind is very happy. Happiness. So your mind cannot rely on all these one. So that is the power of Samatha. For that reason, people who are meditating, seriously meditating, they can stay in meditation center for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years because of concentrations. So they don't need to rely on outside, no? They just rely on concentrations. So when you go, sometimes you may, how to say, you may surprise, you know. Some people are looking for a good place for meditation because they found, you know, a rapture or joy in meditation. So there's no attachment, sensual pleasures. For that reason, the Buddha said, when the mind is developed, Chitta Bhavitan, lust or desire for sensual pleasures is abandoned. For that reason, even though the place is not good, even though the food is not good, if you can stay with the meditative place, you will stay there in the forest, deep forest, Alaya Sutta, right? Even though they are eating one meal a day, they're happy because of concentrations. Therefore, Samatha is called liberation of the mind. Your mind is liberated from, you know, attaching all these sensual pleasures. That is the benefit of serenity. Then, the purpose of Vipassanā is to develop the wisdom. The purpose of Vipassanā is to develop wisdom. So when wisdom is developed, Panya Bhavita, ignorance is abandoned. Ignorance. Here, ignorance means not knowing the real nature of things. Real nature of things. So we have a lot of craving towards something we see. Craving toward the sound. No? Craving toward the food, smell, tangible object. Because we do not know as they really are. They are impermanent, suffering, non-self. That's called ignorance. If we do not know the real nature of these one, ignorance. The opposite of ignorance is wisdom. So here, insight, the purpose of insight or Vipassanā is ignorance is abandoned. If you develop insight or Vipassanā, ignorance is abandoned. The moment you are meditating, you have a deeper level of concentrations. You are happy with the meditation. No attachment to sensual pleasures. Only at that moment. Your mind is liberated at that moment. Not because of wisdom. But here, insight, because of wisdom. You may see something, you may hear some sound. Concentration, you do not see, you do not hear, you know. Your mind is liberated from sensual pleasures. Then you will joy in the meditation. But here, insight or Vipassanā, you, even though you see, even though you hear the sound, even though you're eating, no? Even though you're eating, your mind is liberated. Liberated, no clinging. Even though you're eating a good food, even though you're seeing a very beautiful body, no craving, no clinging, because of wisdom. Because Vipassanā develop the real nature of things. The real nature of things means as they really are, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. If you have such wisdom, ignorance ran away. Ignorance. Because we have attachment because of ignorance. We do not know the real nature of things. We have attachment to the food. We do not know the real nature of food because of ignorance, right? For that reason, people say ignorance is blessed. No, in Buddhism, no. Ignorance is the most dangerous thing, If you do not know as they really are, that is the cause of suffering. Every cause of suffering. So therefore, the Buddha said that Vipassana is called liberation by wisdom. If you practice Samatha, your mind will be liberated. Your mind will be liberated from craving. Only at that moment. But when you practice insight meditation, your mind is liberated. Complete liberation of the mind, distraction of the suffering. Actually, earlier we talked about this, right? Insight wisdom lead to the complete distraction of suffering. Samatha or concentrations can lead to a temporary distraction of suffering, only at that moment. For that reason, in Samutta Nikaya, in one of the sutta, Samayika Samatha, temporary liberation of the mind. Kodikathira, no? Kodikathira. Then I want to conclude my talk with the Buddha, Bhikkhu Bodhi note. In Akinkeya Sutta is a note, Bhikkhu Bodhi write this one. Liberation of the mind, liberation by wisdom. Concentration is called liberation of the mind because it is liberated from lust or desire for sensual pleasures. You don't want all these sensual pleasures. You're happy, You have a happiness with the concentrations. Your mind is liberated from those sensual pleasures, just temporarily. Wisdom is called liberation by wisdom, Panya Vimoti, because it is liberated from ignorance. With the wisdom, your mind is liberated. Full understanding, If you really know the real nature of food, with the wisdom, no attachment. For those who are meditating, they don't have attachment to the food because they have bliss or rapture or joy in the meditation. Venerable Ananda teacher, Bhaddekaratta-sutta, and he enjoy his meditation, and he go to Pinapada, and he eat, and the rest of the food he dry. Then he meditate. Then the next day, he no longer go to Pinapada. Then he use the water to dry food. Then he eat it. No attachment to the food, but he like his concentration, concentrated mind, meditation, samatha. But for those who become arahant, they understand real nature of food as they really are. No attachment. They eat the food for surviving. Wherever food they are offered, they will eat it up. That's all. But in meditation, he went to meditate, he went to stay with the jhana, concentration, samatha, no attachment to the food at that moment. So his mind is liberated from the attachment, from the food. But for arahant, wisdom, or insight wisdom, because they practice insight meditation, they know the real nature of food. They know the real nature of the body with the wisdom, no attachment. For that reason, the Buddha say, the wisdom of insight can lead to a complete destruction of suffering. Samatha or concentration can lead temporarily. The former is normally, Bhikkhubori note, formally is normally the result of serenity, the latter the result of insight, but when they are coupled and described as a taintless asava, they jointly result from the destruction of the taints by the supramundane path or arahantship. So when we use the word asava, anasava, taintless, that means somebody became arahant as a result of samatha and vipassana. So I hope you understand the benefit of samatha and benefit of vipassana. Next year, you will learn much detail. Any question? No question, right? Thank you so much for coming and making effort to come, which is a good deed. So next year we'll continue after Chinese New Year. After Chinese New Year, we'll announce. Thank you. Yovadatam bhavaro manu jesu sakya muni bhagava katakecho paragato bala viriya samangi Tan sukatan saranathamupemi Ragavi ragamanincamasokan Dhamma masangata mapatikulan Marurami mambaguna suvipatan Dhamma mimamsaranathamupemi Yatachade nama apalamahu Chatusu susisu purisa yugesu Atacha pokala dhammadasate Sangha mimamsaranathamupemi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night, everyone.